Now, before I introduce the speaker, I want to say it's been an honor and a privilege to get to know him. I've seen a lot of love surround him. The only thing I can't really figure out is I don't know if they're happy to see him or they're happy that he's leaving tomorrow. No, I'm just joking. I really feel like I've already known him for some time now, and without taking up no more time, I'll give you Roger.
Shut up. Hi, everybody. My name's Roger, and I'm an alcoholic. Hell yeah. I got it bad. My sobriety date's November the 12th, 1990. And just through the grace of God, I'm telling you, and good old people, good AA people, who hung in there with me, wiped my mouth off for me, because I was slobbering. I didn't have no teeth when I come to y'all. I got them now. They grew back. Yeah. That's right. They don't move either. Look. But so glad to be here. Of all the places to be invited is come back home, because I'm telling you, if you want to get sober, come to Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah. This is where it happened for me. I come from the country. A lot of people think I'm from Boston, but I ain't. Right here in Louisville. Did you hear it? Louisville. Not Louisville. Not Louisville. You talk like that and they'll say, yeah, Louisville's around the alley. Come here. You say Louisville and they'll leave you alone. But I ain't kidding you. I am so excited about being here, and ask me why. I have teenagers. It ain't funny. And they're girls. I mean, I love women. I love girls, but not at my house. Oh, man. When I left, they didn't have to say, bye, Daddy, we'll miss you. I'm good. I'm good. I'm all right. I always tell who's got teenagers because they ain't smiling. I see y'all. I know how it feels too. But I know what to do when asked to come to these things. And I want to thank Nick. Nick called and said, Raj, this is Nick with the Louisville Host Committee. He said, man, we need an idiot for Saturday. He did. I said, you got the right number. Go ahead. And he said, we'd like you to come on Saturday and be our speaker during the day. I said, I'd love to. I mean, whatever he said, I said, I'd love to. And he said, why are you so excited? I said, I got kids. Anytime I can get away, I'm going. But, man, I swear I've been in some places, and I ain't kidding you. This is the truth. Everybody's all dressed up. Y'all look good, but I know y'all. There's some rough drunks in here. Oh, they'll talk about your mama. I know y'all. And thank you for letting me come here. I mean it. I come from a rural part of the country around here, a little town called Elkton. It's in western Kentucky. And my mama and daddy was the best parents you could ever have. Mama was big, not tall, big. and can cook. And I have 3 sisters who are big. And one of them was supposed to be here, but she couldn't get her car out. Big. And I have a brother. Me and my brother drank together, run together, fought together, shared together. That's all I'm going to say. We shared together. But man, when I was asked to come here, I thought, Lord, have mercy, man. Come back home, get to go visit people. And I love y'all, and y'all say you love me. But everybody that I've talked to says, Raj, when'd you get in? I said, got in Thursday night. When you leaving? Why is that important? But I know what to do when asked to do this. We always tell in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, what we're like today. My God, how do you get from there to here? How you come out of darkness into the light? It has to be a miracle. Man, we say it to me, it's a miracle. You're a miracle. You're a miracle. Everybody's a miracle. Right at the Lambton Group. I ain't gonna name names. But this old guy here, you're a miracle, Roger. Y'all know who it is. Yeah. But we're a miracle. I grew up in just a poor family, real poor. You ever been so poor that government cheese looked good? Anybody ever ate government cheese? Everybody in here knows it'll lock up a toilet. Y'all know it. It will. Government cheese, it can hurt a microwave. That ain't real cheese y'all been putting in the microwave. Government cheese won't melt. It's hard to cut. Remember them old cheese slicers with the little wire on it? It'll break. Takes a butcher knife. And my dad would cut us cheese and fry up some bologna. And man, we had supper. And my dad was a great big man. Or he looked that way to me. You know, when you're a kid, your daddy looks like a tree. My daddy was a big man. Looked like a solid oak tree. Great big old shoulders, black curly hair. Ready for action. I mean, he's ready. But there was only one defect he had. My mother would buy him big shirts with all the X's. And my dad could put that shirt on and button it up here, button it right here, button it right there, and he'd get to around his belly. He couldn't button it no more. My dad had a big belly, and he couldn't button his shirts, and his shirts were always open. And every time you seen my dad, you saw his belly button. And he always had his finger in it. It was like a glove. I ain't kidding you. I don't care where we was at. Everybody loved my dad. They called him Butterball. And they'd say, they go, Butterball, how you doing? He'd pull that finger out and shake their hand. And all us kids would go, ugh. Poor people, man. Being poor don't make you an alcoholic. It helps, but it don't make you an alcoholic. I've enjoyed 2 speakers that I've heard. Y'all been, I really enjoy. I don't see how people can remember all that. I am not scarred by education. Man, I listened to both of y'all, no offense, but I kept elbowing anybody else beside. What they say? I did. And they need a translator today for them. Because I don't think they, well, Amanda might talk a little country. But Jack, hang in there, bud. Just elbow somebody. But y'all, I love it, man. It's been awesome for me. But growing up, I loved my daddy. I loved him because he could fix anything with barbed wire, chicken wire, duct tape. Yeah. Y'all got it in your car, you know you do. Don't nobody leave without that duct tape. We're going somewhere. Get the tape. And my dad, where I was lived, we had to drive to town for entertainment. Everything was up on the square, a courthouse in the middle, and all the stores are around. But when it got dark, there was nothing to do. Nothing. Except go to the funeral home. That was our entertainment. Because I loved to watch my dad. He could handle a crowd. He'd go to the funeral home, he didn't care who was laying out, we're going. He'd take a wash rag, me and my brother got burr haircuts. He'd take a wash rag, rub our heads off, and go, get the truck. We're going to town. And we'd get in the truck, and he'd ride, as we're riding to the funeral home, he'd go around the square, he'd take us around the whole trip. Because we don't get to get up there much. He'd go all the way around the square and go one more time. And then go out on the other side of town, go to an old funeral home that had carpet in it. Shut up. Carpet. Never seen carpet in the 50s. I never seen it till I went to the funeral home. They took an old house and put stained glass windows in it, carpet, and painted it. And we'd go up there and he'd pull in that old gravel parking lot. And my dad is a disciplinarian. Y'all don't know what that is, do you? Disciplinarian. That means he's mean as hell. And soon as he pulled in that parking lot and shut that old truck off, I'd grab him old vice grips, open the door. And he'd look over at me and my brother, and he'd say, wait a minute. We'd look at him. He said, do not eat nothing. He didn't say, do not eat nothing or I'll whoop you. He didn't say it. He just said, do not eat nothing. We knew. He gets out of the truck, goes on up in the funeral parlor. Me and Ralph, my brother, get out of the truck and go to everybody's car and steal them little valve caps off the valve stems. I don't have nothing that holds air. Our bicycles don't have rubber. In the country, you can ride on the rim. And we are stealing. And I don't know why we're stealing. And then we both forget what my daddy said. And we walk in this Baptist funeral home, because Baptists, when people die, they bring food. Like beans. Beans. If I die tonight, don't bring beans. That's terrible. Here's your loved one laying up here, and the whole family's going... That is terrible. But soon we walked in, we seen the beans and the loaves of breads and all that, and spotted 66 cookies. That's a brand name, made by Piggly Wiggly. They're sandwich cookies. You know why they call them 66? I'll tell you. Because there's 11 in each row, 6 across. Go ahead, add it up. Soon as we seen them cookies, we bush hogged them. We start eating them cookies. We get cookie dust in the corners of our mouth, all over our bibbed overalls. Walk out to the funeral parlor, there's my dad up by a casket by somebody he don't know. With his finger in his navel. Shaking people's hands. He seen me and my brother come in. He don't say a word. He waits till we get right up in front of that casket and he starts beating the hell out of us. Or as whooping us. Daddy didn't cancel. You know, Daddy never sit down, let's talk about this. No, he didn't do that. You got a whooping. You were told not to. And so while we were there, a man in a suit, like the one I got on, home group. I love it. A man comes in a suit, walks up to my dad. He said, "Are you Butterball?" My dad said, "I am." He said, "We want you to come to Louisville to work for the union." And he brought out a union card. He said, "Can you be here Monday? We'll pay you cash money." My dad never made cash money. My dad always run a farm for somebody. And the people that owned the farm would let us live in a house there. We only had one stick of furniture, and it was a couch. And then people wouldn't pay us with money, they'd pay us for whatever they grew. If they had green beans, we ate green beans all year. If they had taters, we had taters. If they had hay, we didn't eat the hay. He would sell the hay to have extra money. And man, my dad was so excited. We left the funeral home, drove all the way home, non-stop. Went around the square, went on the other side, got in front of that old farmhouse. My dad jumped out of the truck, went in the house, picked my mother up, kissed her right in the mouth, and her feet never left the ground. And put her back down. Backed the truck up against the door. The truck's got cattle racks. Y'all know what cattle racks are? Open them cattle racks and push that big old couch on the back of that truck. Put all them Piggly Wiggly sacks with socks and underwears. Stuff them beside the couch. Loaded them 3 sisters like cattle. And they took up the whole couch. And there was no room for me and my brother to sit. He made Ralph sit on one arm of the couch, made me sit on the other arm of the couch, and here we go to Louisville. This is before 65 was completed. You had to take Dixie Highway all the way. And we've been on the road 3 hours. For 3 hours. And all them underwears and socks are flying off the back of that truck. We look like the Beverly Hillbillies. And my brother is turning purple. He's turning purple. I said, "Ralph, what's wrong?" He said, "Man, I got to pee." I said, "Tell Daddy." He went, "Hell no." So I'm the idiot. I knocked on the window. I said, "Daddy, we got to pee." Now, he didn't look for a rest area. He didn't look for an asphalt parking lot. He pulled right off the road in the bushes. My mother took my 3 sisters up in the woods to do their business. I'm going somewhere with this. Yeah, I am. My dad made me and my brother march to the back of that tailgate, stand on that tailgate, and pee off the back of that truck while cars went by. And I believe that's what made me drink. That's right. I've told that in them mental places. And in there, they make the girls sit over here and the guys sit over here. And when I tell that, the guys would go, by God, he's right. But y'all know, and I know, don't take nothing to make a alcoholic drink. Nothing. Hell, we'll drink over a dry booger. It don't take nothing. And we got there. We got all the way to Louisville on Dixie Highway. Come up Dixie Highway. The people who live down here know what I'm talking about. You foreigners won't. We got all the way to the river, almost. If my dad would have took a right, I would have been brought up in the beautiful East End. But he took a left. Went down in this neighborhood, down here. Down here, well, you better not say Louisville. And found an old shotgun house. Y'all know what shotgun houses are? That's the real ones right there. A shotgun house has a front room, a bedroom, and a kitchen. That's it. You know why they call them shotguns? Open the front door, go all the way through, open the back door. You can shoot a shotgun through that house, never hit a wall. He backed that truck up against the step and pushed that couch off in the front room and told all our family to sit on that couch. He was going to go down on 15th and Market to Booty Probus's used furniture. He said, I'll be back in a half hour. I'm thinking he's going to bring back brand new furniture. He brought back a truckload of junk. Junk. 4 rollaway beds. Y'all know what rollaway beds are? You unhook them, roll them in the bedroom, unhook them. Went back out to the truck, brought in the old table and had chrome ridges around the edge of it. Turned that table up like this and rolled it like a wheel. Set it up in the kitchen. Brought in 5 chairs that didn't match. Set them around that table. Went back out in the truck, brought in a big old TV, set it on the floor. Went back out to the truck, brought another TV and set it on top of that TV. I swear to God, me and my brother elbowed each other going, look at this. We have arrived. My dad goes to work that day and comes home with cash money. Back in them days, they paid you cash money. They didn't know how long you'd last. And he come home, he's got dollar bills hanging out the side of his pocket, got 2 big old arms full of groceries from A&P. Well, come in the front of the house, and we gather around him like hungry wolves. He goes back in the kitchen, set them groceries on the table, pulled out a stalk of bologna, laid it on the table, took out a box, open them up, and it's them big crackers. Y'all remember big crackers when all four of them were stuck together? Shut up. That's living there. He's getting everything set up. He reaches in his pocket, pulls out his pocket knife, opened it up, licked both sides, and then dried it off. Start to cut that bologna. Me and my brother's looking up at him. He looks at us, goes, "How thick y'all want it? You want it this thick or that thick?" And he cut that bologna thick, lay it on top of that cracker, take that same knife and wallow it through that mustard jar and make a happy face. I'd take that other cracker and put it on top of it, take a big bite of it. I'm in my underwear. Because in the late 50s, you could be in your underwear. This world's changed. I've never seen nothing like it. I'd take a bite of that cracker and blow that mustard, shoots to them hoes. I turn it sideways. Woo! Lick that mustard off and go in the front room, lay on the floor and watch them 2 TVs. Because everybody had 2 TVs where I come from. Y'all know what I'm talking about, don't you? One of them had a picture and the other had the sound. That's right. That'll make you happy there. And we started going to school. And we went to school, and everybody had hair but me and my brother. My dad would take us to the barber college and get haircuts. Because at the barber college, y'all know what the barber college is, that's where they learn how to cut hair on poor people. My dad would walk into barber college and some hateful man run the place. As soon as we walk in, he'd look at my dad, he'd go, "How many?" My dad said, "I got 2. That old man looked down at me and Ralph, he goes, "Sit down." And I'd sit down in that chair and I go, "Can you He pulled my head back like this, tuck in clippers. He only had 1 cut. And it was called off. And we walked out that barber college looking like 2 little pit bulls. Started going to school. My dad would buy us used clothes. Got us polished cotton shirts and polished cotton pants. We'd walk down the hall to school, look like 2 little heavy maintenance men. Oh, it's funny here. It wasn't funny then. But everybody else had grease in their hair, combing their hair straight back, and they had on black T-shirts that were real tight, and they wore tight Levi's. I can't wear tight Levi's because they didn't make Huskies back then. And we'd walk through the hall of the school, and them greasers would lean against the wall. We'd walk past them, and one of them said, "Hey, we got a light out." And my brother went over and busted that guy right in the mouth. I love my brother. And I'm going somewhere with this. Because in the big book, it says we go back through our lives. Nothing counts but honesty and thoroughness. Have I got the right meeting? Ain't that what it says? Nothing counts but honesty and thoroughness. The very next day, we go back through the same hall. Got on the same polished cotton shirts and polished cotton pants. The same greasers. We're walking down the hall. I'm walking behind my brother. Not a whole lot. We get in front of them greasers, they don't say a word because they're scared to death of my brother. But my brother can't see me. I'm about to have a personality change and don't even know it. Because I get right in front of them greasers, I start this. I have had a personality change. And Dr. Silkworth said we need to come back to that. But I didn't know Dr. Silkworth at that time of my life. Something changed that day. But now I know, since I got sober, and did inventories after inventories after inventories. I love people who say, well, all I do is 10, 11, 12. Oh, you got a 3-step program. I wish I had one of them like a judge had. I ain't judging, but I'm getting close. And I run into a guy named Charlie Howard. Charlie, everybody made fun of him because he was short and heavy. I love heavy people. When I first came to AA, I did not like skinny people. Thank God for the steps. Because now I can tolerate them. I've gotten a lot better. And Charlie was my best friend. I got to know Charlie. Charlie said, Raj, do you drink? I go, man, I drink every day. He said, I'm going to have a bottle Friday night for the football game. You going to be here? I'm going to be here. I have never had alcohol in my body. I'm 17 years old. I ain't never kissed a girl in the mouth except at the family reunion. Oh, y'all having a ball, ain't you? I met Charlie Friday night in front of the school, and he's got a bottle, and he's got the neck twisted with that bag. And he untwisted the bag, pulls out a bottle of Orange Rock vodka. Everybody's drank Orange Rock vodka. Huh? You know why you haven't? Let me tell you. It's expensive. Cost $1.16 a quart. Charlie take that top off, he'd throw the cap away. And he'd lean back like this, he'd put that bottle on the bottom of his lip and take a big pull off of it and pull it out real quick, and he'd start hitting himself in the face. He'd say, come on, Raj, hit me in the face like he'd do in them movies. And I looked at him real serious. I said, hand me that bottle. And I grabbed the bottle from Charlie. I leaned back. I did the same thing he done. I leaned back. I took a big pull off of it. And every time I put alcohol in me, the same thing happens. Every time. If I put alcohol in me today or tonight, the same thing happen. Alcohol makes my jaw stick out. And I hand the bottle back to Charlie. Charlie grabbed that bottle. He leaned back. He takes a big pull off it, pulled it out. He starts bobbing and weaving. He said, come on, Raj, hit me in the face like they do in them movies. And I'm trying to grab that bottle from him. I get the bottle from him. I lean back. I take another big pull, and this time my hands start tightening. All I can think about is his jaw. He grabbed the bottle, he leaned back, he's getting ready to take another pull, and I'm standing over here going like this, saying, I wish you would. Charlie took a big pull off of it, pulled it out of his mouth, and goes, "It right!" I went, bam! I hit him right in the face, and he sat down on the curb and started crying. Started calling me all them Louisville names. And y'all know them. And that was the first time I got a buzz. Remember Buzz? Hell yeah, you remember. That's why you're here. I got a buzz. My neck got real hot. My ears got real red. And I got real sexy. All of y'all have done it. I love when the girls go, "Oh, he's so nasty." Y'all have done it. Just wait later on tonight when you walk by that bar tonight. You'll see him up at that bar going. That's the first time I ever got a buzz. And Charlie, we'd walk around the football field, and they got a big fence. We'd lean on the fence. Charlie said he didn't hear this, what I'm about to say. I heard it. I'd lean on the fence, and girls would walk by and say stuff like, "I want you." "Kiss me tonight." Charlie said they didn't say that. I said, "By God, I heard it." And my dad didn't like the way things were going, because I started chasing that buzz every weekend, and I'd come home, and Daddy said, "You're not going to live here and act like that." He said, "I'm going to send you back down the country to live with your uncle." My uncle is a drunk. My dad put me on the bus. I go back to the country, and my uncle comes in a pickup truck to pick me up. He said, "You drive." I said, "All right, I'll drive." He sat over there drinking vodka like you. There would offer me none. I just keep driving. I got tired of it. I said, "Give me a drink." He said, "I didn't know you drank." I said, "I guess not." I grabbed the old vodka. I took a drink off of it, handed it back to him. He took a drink, then I took a drink. I'm driving. All this is going on. I start going off the side of the road. You ever did that? I go off the road, come back on. Go off the road, come back on. Here comes the old sheriff. Sheriff got right behind me. He's got his lights on. I said, "Somebody's behind us." He said, "Pull off the side of the road." I pull off the side of the road. That sheriff, he does the same thing. Walks up to the truck. "Get out of that truck." I go, "I can't. You get in." He got in. Took me and my uncle to jail. I got in jail. My uncle goes to sleep. I'm hollering all night, "I want a lawyer." He said, "What's your lawyer's name?" I go, "You know it." He said, "Man, if you don't shut up, I'm going to take you down the road down to the Western State." I said, "You ain't taking me. Get out of that cell." Brought me out, took me down there. I'm in Elkton. It's in Hopkinsville. Takes me down there to the Western State, walks up these stairs, get to the top, and there's a guy with a clipboard. And he's looking at the sheriff. He said, "Well, what you got?" He said, "Trouble." So that guy put me in there with him. Guy filled out all the paperwork. I got out. I stayed there about a month and a half. Got out, never changed nothing. Nothing. Kept doing what I've always done. If you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. And I did it. Same thing happened. I had to call my uncle to come and get me. Took about 4 hours for him to get there. I said, what took so long? He said, man, I got sleepy. Got in the truck with him, didn't change nothing. He said, you drive. I drive, he drank. I've been in there long enough. I know that drinking's bad for you. Just don't drink a whole lot. So I'd take a little drink, give it back to my uncle. Now I want a bigger drink. And nothing changed. He put me out up on the square, said I was trouble. And they locked me up again. I got mad this time. The sheriff pulled up. He said, what are you doing? I said, hey, man, why are you always picking on me? I said, look at this guy going around the square. Why ain't you pulling them over? I said, look at that lady. Look at her. She hit the curb. Lock her up. He said, you're the only one driving on the sidewalk. I'm going back to Louisville. I went back to Louisville, never changed nothing. Got back to Louisville, man, could not stop drinking on my own. I can't do it by myself. Didn't even know it. They locked me up. Now I'm going to penitentiary. You ever been to penitentiary? Oh, you'd love it. It's the only place I know where they'll feed you, they'll clothe you, and if you're lucky enough, you might get in a relationship. Which is exactly what happened to me. I ain't ashamed to say it. I got in a relationship with a power greater than me. That's what happens to idiots. We got to go everywhere. Drunks have to show out, or this drunk has to show out everywhere I go. And they get down to LaGrange Reformatory. I have a certificate. I completed that long course. Got down there. They put me in a cell with a young black kid. I'm a redneck from western Kentucky. He's from eastern Kentucky. Are you getting it yet? East, west, we don't like each other. He's black, I'm white. But God don't care. God don't care what color you are. You know why? Because he painted you. Yeah. Yeah. And man, they opened up the cell, and I got this jewelry all over me. And they start unlocking me, and there's a kid in there. His name is Hambone. Hambone. This is my messenger. I thought if God sent me a messenger, he'd send a white guy like Michael. Or Eric. Oh, hell no, I'm dramatic. I get Hambone. And I walk in the cell, and Hambone holds both his arms up. He goes, God loves you. I went, wrong cell. But it was the right cell, right on time. God ain't never late. God ain't never late. Look back through your life. There ought to be empty chairs in here. There ought to be a lot more empty chairs in here. But something happened, and you made it to AA. Think about it. All them hoods. Remember them times y'all riding on them hoods of the car going, party? The guy put on the brake and you hit the concrete. Should have been dead. Or that stub, man, we made in the tub. Everybody put everything in it, castor oil, Jack Daniels, and we drank it. Should have been dead, but for the grace of God. And I stayed in that penitentiary, and this kid who's my messenger would ask me to pray with him. I don't like that. He would. He'd get on his knees and he'd say, Roger, won't you pray with me? I said, Hambone, won't you go to hell? That's how we are. Somebody offers to help us. Hey, you want a shirt? No, I got one. He's trying to help me. And I'm so full of myself, I can't accept it. Been down there for about 8 months. I go out on the highway, picking up trash. And every night I come back in, Hambone would get on his knees right in front of me. You don't get on your knees in front of another man. Not penitentiary. And he'd ask me to pray with him. And I'd cuss him out. After 8 months, you run out of cuss words. I don't know what to say anymore. And I'm out on the highway, and I stuck this one. It was one of those tracts, one of those religious tracts. And it showed a picture of a cross, just a regular cross. Showed 2 men running on that sideboards. And they get to the middle, right at the middle of the cross would light up. And I don't know why that bothered me. I know today, but I didn't know then. And I thought, if that kid asked me to pray with him, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pray with him. And I said it like I was going to punch him. And sure enough, I walked in the cell, and there he was. This guy was determined. I'm telling you, when these people get on you, you can't shake them off. You might as well surrender. I'm telling you, it would take a lot of time, a lot of stuff out of everything. Just go ahead and surrender. But I wouldn't do it. And I walked in that night. He said, Roger, won't you pray with me? I pushed his hand back. I said, I'll do it. And I started to get down on my knees right next to him. And when I did, he went off. He went off. He started saying a prayer like the Declaration of Independence backwards. If he'd had hair, it would have been sticking up. Because he's slobbering, he's praying. And I'm ready. I'm ready to give. And I was getting ready to do it. But I heard the guards come walking through, 2 white guards. I can't let them see me on my knees with some little young black guy, big macho guy like me. And right when they got to our cell, they count everybody. That's why they walk down them hall, they count. And right when they got to our cell, I jumped up. And when I jumped up, this kid who's my messenger, I'm telling you, God spoke through him. Because he got real bold and he got real loud. He said, Roger, God don't care who's watching. He said, Roger, God don't care who's listening. He said, man, God is the perfect gentleman. He's ready whenever you're ready. And I'm ready. I'm done. I am so sick of me. How long can you wade around that cesspool of you? You know what I mean? Oh, Roger's so cool. Ugh. Old guy in penitentiary, he said, you think you're cool, don't you? I said, yes, I do. He said, go look the word up. And I did it. Next day I saw, he said, "What's it mean?" I said, "I ain't telling you." He said, "What does cool mean?" "Not so hot." But I'm right there with Hambone, a total day of surrender. I'm ready. And I surrendered. I got back down on my knees. I asked God to help me. God don't wait. The bars, wasn't nothing dramatic. He helped me. I've had a psychic change and a change of heart. And the big book says, unless we have a psychic change, there's little hope of your recovery. I'm like a cocked shotgun. I'm ready. I am ready. And I got out. And they said, "We'll let you out if you go to a halfway house." They have a halfway house on 5th and St. Catherine called the Talbot House. We'll give you the number. And I got out and I called the Talbot House, and a guy answered the phone. His name is John. And I know John. I said, "John, this is Roger Hightower." He dropped the phone. I could hear him in the background. "Hallelujah. I've been praying for him." He said, "Come over. We got a bed. There's 18 beds. We got 17 guys. But for the grace of God, I went to the Talbot House. I don't have no teeth. You ever lost a tooth? You remember when you lost that tooth for trying to open that beer? I tried that. My teeth come out with the top. And if you lose a tooth, you take that tongue and stick it up in that socket. I got 23 sockets. I'm ready for action. And at the Talbot House, you have to attend meetings. One of the requirements, they put a clipboard on the wall. You had to sign where you went to a meeting. And I'd go to meetings, and I found a sponsor. There was Charlie. There he was. Had his hair cut just right. Had his wife with him. I hadn't seen Charlie in a long time. He's got his wife. Shut up. And she's got a haircut like him. And they got both of them got on matching shirts. They look like two little bookends. And they said, "Go to meeting, find you a sponsor." I see Charlie. I got me a sponsor. I ain't gonna ask him. I know he will. And this guy said, "Well, you got to go over and ask him." And Charlie's over talking to a new guy. The new guy's looking down at the floor. And I'm standing behind. He's telling this guy about the first step. He said, "Man, you've been powerless over alcohol all your life. You just never reached for another power." And I'm getting it. You ever done that? Be standing behind somebody. I got it. I get it. And then Charlie turned around and looked at me and goes, "Rod, what do you want?" Will you be my sponsor? He said, "Yeah, Raj. I'll be your sponsor if you do 3 things. Be honest, open, and willing." And I have been. And he said, "Why don't you come to my house on the weekend? I'm going to take you through the first 3 steps." I said, "Let's go." I went to his house. Judy's cooking. I could smell it. Judy used to tell Charlie, I think Roger's got bloodhound in him. Every time I cook supper, he comes over. I go in Charlie's house, I go in the front room, he's got doilies. Doilies on the table, man. That's funny to me, because here's a guy I used to puke with. And now he's got doilies. Charlie said, sit down. He said, I'm going to take you through the first 3 steps. He told me. And he told me about his drinking. He was armed with the facts about his drinking, not mine. And he talked about his. He said, are you ready? I said, I'm ready. He said, I'm going back in the kitchen. I'm going to get us some Kool-Aid. Do you want one? I said, I do. He said, well, start clapping. Huh? He said, I'm going back in the kitchen and get some Kool-Aid. You start clapping. I said, Charlie, why do you want me to clap? He said, do you want to go through this or not? Shit. I start clapping. He goes back and gets a Kool-Aid. I start getting into it. He come back in the room, Rod, stop clapping. He said, grab the Kool-Aid. I grabbed the Kool-Aid, took a big pull off of it. I said, Charlie, why'd you have me clapping? He said, because you're a thief. And he said, if your hands are moving, you can't steal nothing. That didn't embarrass me. I'm a thief. I'm good. Starts reading the big book to me like something's wrong with me. You ever been with them people? They go, rarely have we seen. I go, man, I can read. He said, I know, but you ain't getting it. He said, I'm going to help you. And he read it real slow. And all the time he's reading, I'm going, And another guy knocks at the door. He said, Rod, open the door for Mike. I go over to the door, open the door for Mike. Mike comes in. Charlie says, Mike, before we get started, do you want any Kool-Aid? Mike said, yeah, I'd love to have a glass. Rod, you want me to fill yours up? I said, yeah. He said, you know what to do, don't you? I said, you know I do. I did. You know, after you do something, you're already the boss. I start clapping. Charlie come back in the room, and I'm watching Mike. Mike ain't clapping. I'm telling on him. Charlie come back in the room. He said, Rod, quit clapping. Take your Kool-Aid. Oh, man. I set it down. I said, Charlie, Mike wasn't clapping. He said, Rod, Mike ain't a thief. I'm good with it. And Charlie was my best friend ever. You ever had a best friend ever? I wanted what he had. He had a wife. He had serenity. And I wanted it. And on July 17th, Charlie was in a wreck. And I had been in a wreck prior to that. In March of '01. And I got my foot tore off. And they put it back on. Shut up. Ask me, I'll show it to you. And they put it back on. And then on July, everything was going great. I got married to Beth, my wife. And I used to go to every meeting she went to. Y'all called it stalking. I'd sit behind Beth, and I'd lean up and get in her ear. I'd say, "Hey, Beth, when we going out?" And she'd turn around real fast. She'd say, "When pigs fly." I thought, she wants me. Oh, every meeting she went to, I went. 3 years later, the pig flew. I swear to God, we got married. And man, we started living. And we had a little baby girl, Lily, a teenager. Lily Ann. When they're little, I let nobody touch her unless I sprayed you down with alcohol. Then we had another little girl, Katie. Oh, hell, you can smoke a cigarette around her. Hell, you can take a transmission out and hold her. But on July 17th, it seemed like my world crushed. I had my foot tore off. I'm in a wheelchair. The phone rings. It's Judy's sister. She said, "Raj, are you sitting down?" I went, "Yeah. Of course I'm sitting down." She said, "Something bad's happened, Raj. There's been a terrible wreck. Judy's in the hospital in New Albany. And we lost Charlie." I said, "What?" She said, "He's gone, Raj." I thought, "You're crazy. I just talked to him last night." She said, "He's gone." And I went to the hospital. I'll never forget this, because I love Judy. I walked in that hospital room, and Charlie wasn't there. And it just killed me. My God, man. How could something like this happen? And we went to the funeral home, and all the AA people came. And everybody's heard this. Y'all held us together. And you did. And I got another sponsor, John, that guy at the Talbot House. And man, we move on. And I did. And we just kept having babies. You know, when you're feeling bad, have a baby. And Katie was born, and my wife's a year sober longer than me. And she tried to help a little girl who was pregnant. And all my life, I'd wanted to live with women. Be careful what you pray for. And this little girl was carrying a little boy. And she kept taking cracks, marijuanas, drinking. And Beth couldn't help her. And the little girl had a little boy. And when he was 10 weeks old, she brought him over. She said, "Y'all want to babysit?" And we said, "Hell yeah. I do, because I got 3 women." And we tucked him in and started playing wee, 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 and fell in love with him. And she didn't come back for 4 months. And when she did come back, everybody in this room knows what she looked like. She come back, she said, "I'm here to get Christian." I said, "Beth, give me Christian." She said, "I am not." I said, "Beth, we've been brought up in AA. We've been brought up to do things right. Give me Christian." And she gave him to me hatefully. She shoved him to me. And I gave it to that little girl. For the next 3 days, my wife didn't talk to me. My darling little girls I'd come in one room, they'd go in the other. And my sponsor said if she brings that little boy back, go file emergency adoption 2 weeks. If she don't come back in 2 weeks, go file emergency adoption. She came back 3 days later. Said, will y'all watch Christian? I went, hell yeah. God, I've been living in hell. 2 weeks went by. I look like a doctor, but I'm not. I'm a truck driver. Everybody in here has seen me. I'll prove it. And we don't make that much money. And I went to the courthouse. I said, I want to file emergency adoption. She said, that'll be $1,200. I gave her everything I had. Come back next month. It takes 7 times, 7 court visits. And each time you have to bring money. And man, I'm telling you, I love this little boy. He's got a little round head, no hair on it. And we'd go back, and I'd give him money again. And now the prosecuting attorney comes up to me and hugs me. She said, Roger, I'm so proud of you. I thought, not if you look me up. I've been to penitentiary. I'm a convicted felon. And I went back again. And on this, and they make you come back because they're waiting for that little girl. If she wants to say anything, say it now. On the 7th trip, I walked in that courtroom, and here comes that prosecuting attorney hugging me. We sat down, started the procedures. The doors flew open. And there's that girl calling us MFs, SOBs, raising holy heck. And the judge stood up and said, get out. Get out of my courtroom. I said, oh, Judge, don't lock her up. Don't lock that little girl up. She's sick. And they took her outside. And that judge said, I'm going to give you that little boy. And I got a little boy at home. He's 8 years old. He looks just like me. Looks just like me. Walks like me, talks like me. You know how you get a pet and the owner starts to look like the pet? The child looks like me. He's the best kid I've ever seen in my life. I haul an old man around who lost his license because he has dementia. He's 86 years old. And me and Hal, the guy's name is Hal, after me, we go pick Christian up at school. And all the teachers wave at Hal. He waves at them. Christian gets in the car. We go to his mobile home. He hates it when I call it a trailer. And we get out, and Christian gets out of the car, goes up and opens the trailer door for him. I mean, a mobile home. And shuts the door for him. And Hal said, you shouldn't make him do it. I go, I never said nothing to him about it. He just does it. And Christian, they asked Christian, what do you want to be when you grow up? He said, I want to be big and fat like my dad. He said, I said, go in the other room, Christian. And what a life y'all have gave me. I'm telling you, people in this room here in Louisville, right here, have helped me so much. I'll never be able to repay y'all, or I'd never be able to pay AA. Greatest couple in the world right here. Right here on this front row. Hallelujah. Bob and Juanita come to Florida to see me, a convicted felon who got a job at the post office. Don't tell me it don't work. So I just want to thank y'all for inviting me to come here and being a part of this. I loved everybody here. You know how some people say, well, you don't go to enough meetings. Well, maybe I don't. But I love y'all, and I thank y'all for having me. Thank you very much.